Something pretty cool that's going to happen just outside Highmark Stadium on Sunday. The stadium lots won't be open at 11 o'clock in the morning, but we will still see a pretty big crowd because Matthew Berry and the rest of the team with Fantasy Football Pregame will be at One Bills Drive hosting a live show on the road for just the second time this season. Why Buffalo and what can we expect? Just a short time ago, I talked with Matthew from his studio in Connecticut. Matthew, it's really great to have you on the show. Let me just start by asking you, you're taking the show on the road, second time this season coming here to Buffalo. For fans who are either going to be watching on Peacock or on CNBC, or maybe even starting tailgating a little bit earlier and are already going to be out at Highmark Stadium, what can we expect from this weekend show?
I was going to ask you, you tell me, what are we getting here from Bills Mafia? It's interesting. So I had a choice. at the beginning of the season. We were looking at games that we were gonna take Fantasy Football Pregame to, and they said, well, in Week 7 we have the Steelers at Miami. I'm like, oh boy, weekend in Miami might be nice. That'd be fun for me. And they're like, or Week 8 we have the Packers at the Bills. I'm like, no, come on. I need to see Bills Mafia live. I need to see him in person. I've seen this. I've heard about it, but I need to really experience it. So I gave up a weekend in Miami for the Buffalo Bills and Bills Mafia. I expect them to show up. Look, I think what you will see is us giving great fantasy advice. We'll give betting advice. We're going to analyze and break down all the games that day. And I think you'll also see some familiar faces if you're a Bills fan as well. So a lot of surprises, and we're expecting, like I said, Bills Mafia to show up in a big way here, and I think they'll be a part of the show as well.
And probably smart for you. If you gave up Miami and you're coming to Buffalo, you're doing it in October and not December. So I think your timing is probably pretty good. You also tweeted out, and a lot of Bills fans sharing this, watch Michael Smith go through a flaming table. We are known for some of our table antics around here.
Yeah, exactly. Michael was like, wait, did I miss a meeting? And the answer is he did. He did miss a meeting, and that's a lesson for the kids watching. Don't miss the meetings. So here's what I can promise you. Someone is going through a flaming table. We're still negotiating as to whether or not that will be Michael Smith. I'm hoping it'll be Michael. It may not be Michael. It might be me. Who knows? Somebody's going through a flaming table. That much I can promise you.
We love to see it. I know Bills Mafia will show up as they always do. In these parts, a lot of people took Josh Allen as their #1 pick in all the fantasy drafts that happened, a couple of months ago. He seems to be living up to the hype. Would you say so?
He's been nothing short of fantastic. This is the guy that's been the #1 quarterback in fantasy each of the last 2 years. And so I think there were some people that thought, oh, do you draft Lamar Jackson? Do you draft Kyler Murray? What about Patrick Mahomes? And Josh Allen, just with his legs, with his arm, just, the incredible accuracy. Gabe Davis has been in and out of the lineup, right? They lose Jamison Crowder. It doesn't matter who's out there with Josh Allen. He continues to put up massive numbers, not only for the Bills and in real life NFL, but also for fantasy points. He's everything you could ask for.
Finally, Matthew, sizing up the game this weekend, it is something anytime you see, Josh Allen and Aaron Rodgers on the field at the same time, even though, the Packers aren't playing their best football of late right now. But how are you kind of looking at this game this weekend?
I think the Bills kill them. Honestly, I think, look, the Packers are obviously kind of a wounded duck, if you will. They're coming off 3 straight losses here. But ultimately, I always think, just in general, I think teams like to get up for primetime games. And you think about the Buffalo Bills, one of, if not the best team in the NFL, and they've had 2 weeks to prepare. They're coming off their bye, so they've had 2 weeks to prepare for a primetime game, a Sunday night game on NBC and Peacock, on the lights, national stage. Josh Allen against 12. Aaron Rodgers, I think the Bills show up for their guy. I just think they're too good and the Packers are too broken here. Honestly, Rodgers will do what he can to keep it close, but I think ultimately in the second half, I think Buffalo wins, and I think they win big.
Yeah, you're not going to find many people disagreeing with that assessment in these parts. Matthew Berry and the team with Fantasy Football Pregame will be at Highmark Stadium 11 to 1 o'clock this Sunday. I know a lot of fans are going to be checking that out, whether you're watching it on TV or seeing it in person. Matthew, thanks for sharing some time with us. We appreciate it.
My pleasure. Can't wait to meet everyone on Sunday.
And if you won't be at the stadium and want to watch it on TV, again, Matthew's show streams on Peacock from 11 to 1 on Sunday, and the second hour from noon to 1 also airs on CNBC.